Just a quick note before this gets started, this is an extremely edited down version of one of my streams. This is part 2 to it. There will be a link to everything in the description if you are interested in any of that, and there will be more information as well. Thank you so much and enjoy the video. I guess we'll go into the darkness again.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Yeah, no one but soldiers are allowed in the lakeshore camp, and you don't look like no soldier. Yeah, that's not a standard issue helmet. I just came here to visit my son? I don't think so. The captain said no visitors, so buzz off. Yeah, unless you're the quartermaster, you ain't getting in. Hey, where's that nervous wreck anyway? He ought to be back with that shipment of honey by now. Okay. Ow, what the fuck? Crying woman. God, the art is so pretty in this game. You approach a young woman weeping sorrowfully into her palms. She catches her breath for a moment and looks out longingly over the placid lake. Oh, my sweet songbird, why have you forsaken me to a life devoid of your love? Tears well up in her eyes as she buries her face once again. You consider leaving this melodrama well enough alone, but something about the poor girl reminds you of the maiden slumbering under your house. You draw out a tattered handkerchief and offer it to the maiden. There, dry your eyes, my child, and tell old granny what the matter is. Oh, thank you. You're very kind. Takes the cloth and daintily dabs the corners of her eyes, swallowing the last of her sobs. She composes herself before sighing wistfully. It's my beloved, such a sweet and romantic man with the voice of a mellow lark. I get it. He dumped you. Well, don't worry. There's plenty of other frogs out there in the swamp. What? No. He loves me and I him, though our families would never allow us to be together. He'd come and sing outside my balcony every night. Okay, Juliet. One night we both vowed to escape and meet by this lake. Her lip quivers. I waited and waited under the waning moon, even past the morning sun, but he still didn't reveal himself. Tough break. Maybe he just wasn't that into you? Stop, that's so real. He would never abandon me, we're destined to be together. She slips back into a melancholic gaze over the lake. Even now, I can still hear the beautiful melody of his lute coming from across the water. Over the dull sounds of lapping waves and quaking waterfowl, faint notes of some faraway stringed instrument whisper through the weeds. Oh, I hear it too. Maybe you aren't just mad in love. It's coming from somewhere in the middle of the lake. He's out there somewhere. I just know it. She crumples into another dramatic bout of inconsolable tears. Now, I'm sure this is just some echo bouncing off the shore. I'll find where this tardy bard of yours has run off to. The music seems to be strongest on the shore, but even here you can't quite place the source. It seems to be emanating from the half-sunken ruin poking out of the lake's waters. Maybe that foul bard's way out there? Bah, I swim as well as hens fly. Suddenly, some unseen voice chitters mockingly into your ear. Ho ho, hee hee, the musical man you'll never see. You spin around, but no one is there. Just a nattering laughter bouncing on the wind. Who's there? Show yourself, spirit. You snap your hands around the elusive creature and squeeze. Ugh, let me go, you knobbly pot. You're crushing the life out of me. You tiefling little pest. What do you know about this music? Music? What music? Alls I hear is the slapping of waves and the peeping of birdies. Your wrinkly old ears must be full of bugs. Don't play smart with me. I'll pop off your head like a daisy. Oh, you mean that music? It's the sound of the snakes traveling circus. I thought everyone knew that. Circus stays still, but the door's the thing that travels, you see? And right now the door's out on that lake, but you'll never get in. You give the wretched sprite a good shake. A shower of glittering dust sheds off its wings. Tell me how to cross the lake, or I'll make a necklace from your teeth. Ugh, only fae folk can show the way. Dirty fairies built a bridge. Keep all you big folk out unless the snake invites them in. You're a fairy, aren't you? Where's this bridge? Ah, we're a pixie, not one of those flamby-pamby mushroom herders. Besides, the bridge is invisible to big stompers like you. The creature peers over your shoulder and waves his tiny arms. Oh, look, there's a fairy now. Why don't you ask her? You turn to look, but in your moment of distraction, the pixie sinks its sharp teeth into your finger. Ouch, you sneaky little blighter. Springing free from your grasp, the slippery monster chitters a laugh and vanishes in a cloud of smoke. You look down at your dust-covered hand. Fairy or not, this bridge must be around here somewhere. Oh, you fucking motherfuckers. Pushing aside thrushes and cattails, you find a strangely carved pedestal. It might be mistaken for a bird bath if you didn't know any better. As you run your fingers around the edges of the bowl, remaining pixie dust in your hand flakes off as if drawn by an invisible force. Weird pictographs appear on the surface of the basin. They depict a coiled snake presiding at the center of some kind of festival. Directions on how to review the bridge are carved on the outside. You see symbols resembling fey dust, dancing fireflies, and bird feathers. You shake out the fine dust into the bowl and it settles evenly into its inside surface. So I need blue feathers and fireflies. Okay. Give it those fireflies. Each of the fireflies alights upon the edge of the bowl, stepping delicately until they're evenly spaced. And now, blue feathers. Placed into the basin, the feathers arrange themselves into perfect triangular symmetry. The basin begins to glow a soft yellow as the fireflies rise from the muck within. They begin to dance up and down, drawing circles high above the bowl. Glitter rains down gently, shimmering as if it catches the rays of sunlight. Slowly, the particles trace the form of a bridge leading from the edge of the water to the center of the lake. You tentatively test the strength of the spectral walkway and find that it is as strong as if it were made out of solid stone. Nice and easy. Oh, very nice. That's the bard. He seems to be in some kind of trance. Almost hypnotic motion. People really like these parlor tricks. I think clearly it's through the silk tent. Draped in glittering jewelry, the serpent stares intently into a crystal ball as you approach. Welcome, my dear. Welcome. I said that you would come here in search of answers. I just came here in search of a bard. That's him outside, right? With the loot? The minstrel? Yes, he's working off a debt to me. All those folk out there seem a touch addled. What did you do to them? They were all humble folk looking for something, just as you are. I'm here to provide them with my services in exchange for a bit of work. So what are you? Some sort of carnival wizard? You're making quite the racket in my forest. A wizard? No. I am a seer, a scryer of hidden mists, a foreteller of fortunes and keeper of secrets. Fancy titles you've given yourself. Sounds like you're nothing but a used cart salesman peddling your wares to the gullible. I don't know why I keep slipping into that accent. I don't even fucking know what accent that would be. Like, maybe, like, vaguely Scottish? I don't fucking know. No, it's more like Canadian. It's more like a... Canada, you know? Ugh. A skeptic. Step closer and let the crystal ball reveal its mysteries. The snake's word drops low and seems to fill the tent with a heavy weight. I'm a helper of sorts, an unraveler of knots. I make the forgotten remembered. You feel the scaly touch of slithering coils wind around you, but you're powerless to move, and you have forgotten much. The snake's eyes swirl in the pattern you've never seen. Imperceptible colors collapse into themselves and fracture into a kaleidoscope mosaic against the canvas walls. The voice speaks from far away. It takes you a moment to realize that it's your own. I have forgotten so much. Let me help you find your answers. The serpent's coils slowly squeeze the consciousness out of you. With a desperate push of willpower, you blink away the snake's hypnotic gaze. Get off me, you worm. You wriggle your body like a sack of loose twigs. Despite your protesting bones, you manage to squirm free and tumble backwards out of the tent. When your eyes open, you find yourself back outside the snake's tent. You pick yourself up from the ground and dust off your shoulders. I guess that sly serpent has some trick up his sleeve. Better come with a plan for the next time I go in there. The festival patrons seemed confused after your test with the snake, as if the spell on them was momentarily shaken. The crowds disperse as they fumble about in the haze. Now's my chance to get a word in with that bard. Maybe I can get them out of this mess. Strumming his lute, the strapping young man has a faraway look in his eyes. Is it full of wistfulness, nostalgia, or even hypnosis? Wander I may, but narrow way, for she I call my lover. To my chagrin, I stumbled in and met the gaze of another. Curious, I stared, I was not prepared, and this was my mistake. A binding gaze, now I live my days in the service of the snake. Cry not for me, for there is she, that might still see me saved. My spirits they lift, as she holds a gift from before I was enslaved. A mirror but shattered, its pieces have scattered, if mended we may be set free. Down the wishing wellspring to the swamp's moonlit ring, and hidden within the pixie's tree. What's all this about a broken mirror? You gave it to that weeping maiden? Speak plainly, you warbling fool. No matter what you do, the pure musician barely seems to realize you're there. He just keeps strumming his lute and humming this mournful tune. Oh, maybe that lovesick miss will know what he's on about. Probably not, though. Lady! Oh, still my beating heart. Have you any news about my dear sweet love? I found him at the carnival, but he's been mesmerized by the snake. Unless I can break the spell, no one in that carnival can leave. Snake? Say it isn't so. I've heard how he grants wishes, but only for a terrible price. How would my love be so desperate as to consort with that charlatan? I haven't a clue, but he's stuck deep. The only thing I managed to get out of him was something about a mirror. Do you know anything about that? A mirror? Oh, yes, it was the first gift he ever gave to me. From inside her bodice, she produces a small cracked hand mirror. But one night, it slipped from my balcony and shattered on the cobblestones. I tried to piece it back together, but I could never find the last 3 shards. I saw mention something about a wishing well, a moonlit swamp, and a pixie tree. Keep that mirror close. I'll seek out the missing shards and return them to you. Oh, thank you. I should very much love to see it whole again. But clearly the pixie tree is just over here. The gnarled tree is littered with countless trinkets and bits of trash, glued haphazardly together to form a glittering hive. You reach for a sharp piece of broken glass that could be the mirror shard, but pull your hand away at the last moment. 1,000 beady eyes peer out of the tree's knotholes. A familiar crackling voice floats above the others. You again, Kettlehead. What do you want now? I've come for that mirror shard. Hand it over and I won't have to strangle you again. No way. We need shinies to keep the gross fairy folk away. Best fairy repellent there is. What? Since when are fairies afraid of shiny things? Well, I don't see no fairies around, do you? But maybe we can work something out. The smelly mushroom hinders have been encroaching on our turf, see? They've been building that stupid little stone of shrine of theirs, and worse yet, they be hiring mercenaries to guard them. So we can't go anywhere near, but maybe a big stomper like you can take care of the problem for us? And then you'll give me the shard? Hey, if there ain't no fairies, we won't need no fairy repellent. What the fuck do the fairy shrines even look like? Oh, I need more fucking fireflies. Now I can craft that. Okay. That's fine. You hike up the hem of your skirt from the ankle-deep well water and duck down to inspect the small damp cave. A pale shape quickly retreats farther into the dark space. You hear the labored breath of some pathetic thing, frightened and alone. Hello there. Don't worry. I won't hurt you. Bloodshot eyes blink nervously up at you. The creature gazes longingly at the bright light of the world above while simultaneously cowering from it. Poor dear. What are you doing down in this hole? I bet you're hungry, aren't you? 2 thin, malnourished arms twist out from the crevice. One hand tightly clutches a shard of glass, while the other hand reaches out to you, begging for food. Oh, fuck. I don't have roast beef. Do I have the stuff to craft that? Oh, fuck, I do. So I should be able to make that now. Sure enough, I can. The creature snatches at the meat so quickly that you nearly lose a finger. It scurries back into its little crevice, and you hear a satisfied munching from within. Oh, please. And I'll talk to this dude. Oh, hello there. Sorry, I think I managed to get most of this debris off the road. Looks like you've made a fine wreck. What on earth happened to your cart? Yes, well, you see, I was sent on a very important mission by order of my captain. The bear. The bear, you say? What sort of mission? It's my job to make sure the lakeshore camp is well stocked with provisions, but most importantly, a steady supply of honey for the bear's favorite mead. I was just on my way back from the... Oh, fuck, English. I don't know. Apiary? Oh, the cart full when a deer or something darted out of nowhere. Jostled my poor mule so bad that she broke her bridle and ran off. My own heart nearly leapt out of my ribcage. I piled the damn cart right in the ditch. She did. Now every barrel is smashed and I can't bring myself to report back empty-handed. The bear will have my guts for garters, I'm sure of it. This bear sounds like quite a brute. Oh, you don't know half of it. If he doesn't get his honey mead, the heads will roll. Maybe you could lend me a hand? I can't very well put this broken cart back together. No, nothing like that, but could you take a message to the surgeon of the lakeshore camp? He's a reasonable fellow. Let him know what happened, and maybe he can get me out of this bind. Sorry, fuck. You can get to the lakeshore camp if you follow the road to the northwest of here. I need to stay with the cart and assess the damages. Oh dear. Can't talk to him either. No, but there's lots of stuff to catch over here. It's grasshopper. It's a moo-moose! No, grasshopper. Okay. Upon closer inspection, this mountain of hay appears to have been deliberately woven into an intricate wicker structure. You carefully pluck a single piece of straw from its center, and the whole bundle begins to swirl and unravel until a gaping vortex opens before you. Oh, hey! That is exactly what I needed. And the ox's farm this way. Well, let's go to the ox's farm. Hello, ox. Who are you? What do you want? If that lumpy vegetable farmer sent you, just go back and tell him to suck eggs. What? Who? Oh, don't play all innocent with me. I know a spy when I see one. Get lost, turnip head.